Hey guys, thanks for joining us here at Salty Ginger Talk. If you're a returning listener, it's great to have you back. If you're new to the channel, really glad you joined us. Hope you like what you hear. So, today we're going to talk about why you feel exhausted. It's not because you're tired, it's because you're unfulfilled. Most people aren't actually exhausted, they're uninspired. Fatigue often comes not from overwork, but from a lack of alignment with purpose and meaning. You are not living a life where you're pursuing something meaningful to you. And so all of those mundane tasks build up over time and create that feeling of restlessness and anxiety and exhaustion that you feel. It's not from working too hard. It's from working on the wrong shit and not having purposeful things in your life. So we're going to talk about that today. We're going to give you tips on how to fix it. We're going to give you evidence to show that science says this is why these things are this way. And we're going to give you examples of what good behaviors will look like if you're able to incorporate these into your life. So let's jump into it. Number one is that a lack of purpose mimics fatigue. So there's a study from Yale in 2014 that showed that people with a stronger purpose report better sleep quality and higher energy, even with busy schedules, even with demanding schedules. When they're working on something that they feel like has meaning and purpose to them, they have energy for it. They're inspired. They're ready to go after it. They don't feel that worn down feeling. So if you're dragging yourself out of bed to go to a job that you hate, that's what's causing you to feel tired. It's not overworking at the job. Maybe the job's really hard. I'm not saying it's not. But the point is, even a hard job, if it has purpose and meaning to you, you'll have energy for it. If you don't, you're going to have that fuck, it's time to go to work again feeling that you have when you get out of bed in the morning. If you do pursue something that's important to you, you're going to wake up with energy. You're going to be excited about it. Think about it when you go on a vacation, when you wake up on a day that you've got a date, when you wake up on a day you've got something important to you, you wake up with energy. You're ready to go. Maybe you're taking a flight. Maybe you're giving a presentation at work. Maybe you're attending an event that you've been waiting for. You have energy that day, don't you? Regardless of the exhaustion feeling that you've been feeling lately. So, what we want to do here is write down one thing you're excited about this week, no matter how small it is, and prioritize it. Get excited about it. Let that feed your energy. Let that give your life meaning and purpose. It'll help get rid of that feeling of exhaustion because you're going to have energy for the things that have meaning and purpose to you. And you want to focus on those things that have meaning and purpose. Okay. Number two, boredom creates mental exhaustion. We've all felt this, right? The Journal of Occupational Health and Psychology in 2017 found the monotonous work increases feelings of fatigue more than demanding work. So, if you're breaking up concrete, but you've got a purpose for breaking up that concrete, maybe you're putting in a pool for your kids, that's actually less monotonous and less draining on you than stuffing envelopes at work or working through a spreadsheet of thousands of lines or proofreading dry material that has no meaning or purpose to you, right? So if you get tired sitting at a desk scrolling through emails all day, it's because it has no purpose. It's not hard. It's not physically demanding, but it sucks the life out of you because it's boring as fuck and it has no purpose, right? And you're going to feel hours or you're going to feel energized hours you're going to feel energized after you spend hours learning a new skill or tackling a meaningful challenge. Have you ever noticed that when you're really into something and you're getting after it, time flies by, you look up and it's been 2 hours? You're like, shit. Or vice versa. If you have to scroll through emails or work that monotonous spreadsheet or proofreading like we were talking about, you look up and it's only 10 minutes. You're like, motherfucker, has it only been 10 minutes? It feels like 2 hours. That's because there's no purpose. That's what's driving that. So what you want to do today is replace one routine task with a new challenge, even a small one, or make it a game. Like I've had situations where I had to work through spreadsheets with thousands of lines. And what I've done is made it a game and said, I think whatever, let's just say that on average, I was getting 2 lines done a minute. So my goal is to say, I'm going to get 150 lines done this hour. That's more than 2 lines a minute, right? 2 lines a minute works out to 120 lines. I want to get 150 lines done this hour. I would gamify it to give it some meaning and purpose to me. It needed to be done. It wasn't fun. It was monotonous, but I had more energy and I got after it better when I gamified it. So you can do that to yourself. You can play that mental game with yourself and gamify a boring task to make it fun and challenging for you. That's a good way to go to increase your energy, give it some meaning and purpose, and get after it. And then you can move on to something that really is important to you. That's what you want to do, is get the shitty stuff out of the way so you can work on the stuff that has meaning and purpose to you, because you'll have a ton of energy for that stuff when you're working on it. Okay, number 3, values misalignment drains your energy. So a 2016 study in Frontiers of Psychology found that misalignment between personal values and daily work predicts burnout and disengagement. So let's say you took a job on Wall Street because you just wanted to make a bunch of money. But what's really important to you is gardening or saving the environment or art. Let's just pick one of those examples. That job on Wall Street is going to feel like a prison to you, even if you make a bunch of money, even if you're wildly successful, because your values are misaligned with your daily activities. So if you, let's say you have a sales job and you're selling a product that you don't believe in, that job is going to suck. It's going to drain the energy out of you and you're going to hate every minute of it. Whereas if you're in sales and you find a company that's got a product or service that you really and truly believe in and you know it helps people, you're going to feel energized and you're going to have passion and you're going to be successful because you believe in the product that you're selling, and that's going to come through in your presentation. Just like if you don't believe in the product that you're selling, that's going to come through and you're going to seem disingenuous and like a used car salesman to the person who you're talking to. So your action item here, write down your 3 top values. Compare those 3 top values with how you spend your time. Is there a gap? If so, how big is it? Where is the gap? Adjust one thing to lower that gap this week to make it smaller. Maybe you can't change it all at once. Like if you set your life up, let's just say that you've got a high paying job, but you hate it and you want to transition to something else. Burning it all down overnight is probably not the solution, but you could start a plan so that you could transition to becoming an artist. Hey, I'm going to work hard and save up my money and know that once I have X amount of dollars, then I can go try to become an artist. That's going to change how you think about your job. That's a means to an end, and you're working towards something that has meaning and purpose to you. It's going to make you think about it very differently. So write down your 3 top values, compare them to how you spend your time, find where those gaps are, and then figure out ways to start narrowing those gaps or eliminating those gaps completely. And you're going to feel much better after you do that. Okay, number 4, a lack of progress feeds hopelessness. We've all felt this before. Teresa Amabile published a study in Harvard in 2011 called the Progress Principle. And it shows that even small wins increase energy and motivation. So if you feel stuck in the same place for years, that's going to increase your hopelessness, right? That's the old soul crushing job that we hear people talk about or joke about or reference. Nobody wants to be in that situation. Some people are in that situation, but they're choosing to keep going back in that situation. Instead, you could start tracking small daily wins and seeing visible progress. Am I getting better at it? Is it improving? Am I working towards something more? You've got to find little wins to make you see progress so that you don't feel hopeless or that you're stuck. Because being stuck or feeling that there's no progress being made is going to feed that thought of hopelessness in your mind, and it's going to be very defeating. You've got to get past that. So today, write down your 3 biggest wins, whatever they are. It doesn't matter how small they are. I'm calling them big wins. You can make it a big win. Train your brain to see progress. I can tell you that I took a job. I moved my family from the West Coast to the East Coast. My kids were all under the age of 9 at that point. I think under 8. My wife didn't work, so we were counting on me. I felt like I was really struggling. And I worked in an office. This is way back before all the technology that we have now, but it had a water bubbler in it. And the water jug's really heavy. Well, I'm a big, strong guy. And so I made sure that I could keep that water bubbler full, because I always felt like if they were going to get rid of me or another person and it came down to a really close decision, at least I was the guy that kept the water bubbler full. And I was a buyer at a grocery wholesaler. Had nothing to do with the water in the office, but that was something small I could do that made me feel useful to give myself an advantage. And little things like that can make you feel progress. So I wound up actually doing really well in that job and getting promoted and blah, blah, blah. But it felt like to me, I was really struggling. So I found little things to make it seem better and to help myself get through it. And that's what you can do too. Okay. Number 5, passion creates flow and energy. Like we talked about, if you've ever worked on something that's really important to you or you're really into it, you look up and time has flown by. You don't even realize the time is gone. All right. So I can't even say this guy's name. It's on the screen. Mile Chismensky, whatever. So he's got a thing called flow theory, and it shows people experience higher energy, higher focus, and higher fulfillment when they're engaged in challenging, meaningful tasks. So, like we talked about earlier, if you're working on some project that sucks, you clock watch, you're like, son of a bitch, 10 minutes is all that's gone by. That's not where you want to be. Getting lost in your work, getting work you enjoy, hours fly by, but you finish energized. You finish like you feeling you accomplished something. That's where you want to be. And if you're not in that situation, if your job doesn't provide any of that, it's time to start looking for a new job. It's that simple. Or you can also, while you're doing that, you can take 30 minutes every day and you're going to block it for a passion project. Even if it's unrelated to work, you're going to take 30 minutes and do something that gives you energy, something you believe in, something you really want to work towards, because that's going to revitalize you and it's going to fill your tank back up if you spend time working on that. So that passion is going to get you into a flow state and it's going to help you create energy for yourself. So you have to create that sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't just get handed to you. Sometimes it's up to you to create that. And you can do it. You can do it just like we talked about. So look, guys, you're not as tired as you think. We all like to say, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. You're unmotivated. You're unfulfilled. There's a gap between what's important to you and what you're spending your time on. You're starved for meaning. You've got to reignite your energy by aligning with your purpose, by chasing the progress towards that purpose, and making space for the things that you're passionate about and are important to you. That's how you fill up your tank. That's how you increase your energy. That's how you live a life where you're kind of running around and really getting after it. Realign your values of what you do every day and watch your life change. Okay, James puts it up every day. Head over to our website, saltygingertalk.com. All our podcast episodes are there. Links to all of our social media accounts are there. We've got a newsletter we publish every weekday that you can subscribe to on our website. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe to our podcast on whatever platform you consume it on. We're going to keep giving you tips to make your life better. We do interviews with people who come and talk about the hard things they've dealt with in their life and what they've learned from them and how they've built successful lives because of the learnings from those hard things. And you don't want to miss that content. It's great content to help you build the life that you want. It's great content to help you develop a mindset and the habits that you want. So make sure you don't miss our next episode. We'll see you there.